Welcome to English Language for SS1 at Light Tech Academy. Today we study argumentative and persuasive writing. What is argumentative writing? Argumentative writing presents a claim, a position or stance on a controversial issue, and supports it with evidence, reasoning, and counter-arguments. The writer takes a side and argues convincingly for that position. What is persuasive writing? Persuasive writing is similar to argumentative writing, but it is more emotionally driven. It uses appeals to emotion, personal values, and rhetoric in addition to logic, to convince the reader to adopt a viewpoint or take an action. Key difference. Argumentative, primarily logical, evidence, facts, statistics, reasoning, acknowledges counter-arguments. Persuasive, logical plus emotional, uses rhetorical techniques, appeals to the reader's feelings and values. Note, in WAEC English, both types are commonly tested together under argumentative essays or debate speeches. The same structure works for both. Structure of an argumentative/persuasive essay. 1. Introduction. Begin with a hook, a startling fact, rhetorical question, quotation, or a bold statement that grabs attention. Provide context, brief background on the issue. End with a thesis statement, clearly state your position. Example introduction, topic, mobile phones should be banned in secondary schools. In the past decade, the mobile phone has become as essential to the average Nigerian student as a textbook, or so it seems. Yet in classrooms from Lagos to Kano, teachers report a crisis of distraction, students transfixed by screens instead of blackboards, their attention traded for social media notifications and online games. While mobile technology offers undeniable advantages, the evidence is clear that mobile phones cause more harm than good in secondary school environments and should be banned during school hours. 2. Body paragraphs, appeal structure for each. P. Point, topic sentence stating your sub-argument. E. Evidence, facts, statistics, examples, expert opinion. E. Explanation/elaboration, explain how the evidence supports your point. L. Link, connect back to thesis or transition to next point. Example body paragraph. P. First, mobile phones are a major source of academic distraction in Nigerian secondary schools. E. A 2019 study by the University of Lagos found that students who used mobile phones during lecture scored an average of 22% lower on assessments than those who did not. The National Teachers Institute (NTI) survey similarly found that 68% of secondary school teachers in Nigeria reported that student phone use was the most significant obstacle to classroom concentration. E. These statistics demonstrate that even when students intend to use their phones for educational purposes, the temptation to switch to social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and WhatsApp is overwhelming. Cognitive scientists call this phenomenon attention residue. The mind cannot fully re-engage with academic material after a distraction. Therefore, if Nigerian schools are to produce the focused, disciplined graduates needed for a competitive global economy, the distraction of mobile phones must be removed from the learning environment. 3. Counter-argument and rebuttal. A strong argumentative essay acknowledges the opposing view and then refutes it. Structure, some argue that. However. Example. Some argue that mobile phones enable students to conduct research instantly, deepening understanding of classroom topics. However, reliable internet access is still unavailable in many Nigerian secondary schools. The National Bureau of Statistics reports that fewer than 20% of rural public secondary schools have functional internet, making this benefit largely theoretical for most students. Moreover, where internet is available, academic research typically constitutes a small fraction of phone use compared to entertainment and social media. 4. Conclusion. Restate your thesis. In different words, do not simply copy your introduction. Summarize your strongest arguments, do not introduce new evidence. End with a call to action, a strong closing statement, or a return to your hook. Example conclusion. The evidence is overwhelming. Mobile phones in secondary schools distract students, undermine academic achievement, and expose young people to cyberbullying and inappropriate content. Nigerian school authorities, parents, and the Federal Ministry of Education must act decisively. A total ban on mobile phone use during school hours, not merely a policy on paper, but one enforced consistently, is essential to protecting the future of Nigerian education. Our children's academic potential is too precious to be sacrificed on the altar of digital convenience. Persuasive techniques, rhetoric. 1. Ethos, appeal to credibility/authority. Establish that you are knowledgeable and trustworthy, cite experts and respected institutions. As the former Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, Professor Olayinka, noted in his 2023 address to the Nigerian Academy of Education. 2. Pathos, appeal to emotion. Use emotionally charged language, stories, and imagery to make the reader feel something. Imagine a mother in Borno State, her daughter accepted into the federal government college, only to watch her child's dreams dissolve because the school she attended had no books, no light, and teachers who had not been paid in 7 months. 3. Logos, appeal to logic/reason. Use facts, statistics, data, and logical reasoning. The World Bank's 2022 education report shows that Nigeria has the largest out-of-school population in the world, approximately 10.5 million children, a statistic that should alarm every Nigerian citizen. 4. Rhetorical questions, questions that require no answer, they make the reader think. If we cannot provide quality education to our children today, who will build Nigeria's tomorrow? How long must Nigerian students sit in classrooms without electricity, without books, without hope? 5. Repetition and parallel structure, whenever repeating a word or phrase for emphasis. We need better schools. We need better teachers. We need better investment in the minds of our youth. 6. Emotive language, words chosen specifically to trigger emotional responses. Instead of, poor children cannot access good schools. Right, millions of Nigerian children, born into no fault of their own, are condemned by poverty to a lifetime of closed doors, as quality education remains the privilege of the few. Nigerian essay topics for argumentative writing, common in WAEC. 1. The free education policy in Lagos State has done more good than harm, agree or disagree. 2. Cultism in Nigerian universities should attract capital punishment, discuss. 3. A woman should be the next president of Nigeria, do you agree? 4. Social media has done more harm than good to Nigerian society, discuss. 5. Corruption is the root cause of all Nigeria's problems, discuss. 6. National Service, NYSC, should be abolished, do you agree? 7. The use of local languages should be made compulsory in Nigerian primary schools. 8. Child marriage should attract a prison sentence in Nigeria. 9. Government schools should be privatized to improve education quality. 10. The age of political candidacy in Nigeria should be reduced to 30 years. WAEC exam tips. 1. Take a clear stance in your thesis, do not sit on the fence in an argumentative essay. 2. Use Nigerian examples, statistics from NBS, National Bureau of Statistics, organizations like EFCC, ICPC, NAFDAC, policies like SHOPI, Power, the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA. 3. Peel everybody paragraph, point, evidence, explanation, link. 4. Include a counter-argument paragraph, WAEC marks reward this for showing intellectual maturity. 5. Language register, formal, serious, authoritative, no slang, no contractions. 6. Quality over quantity in evidence, one well-explained statistic is better than 5 unexplained ones. 7. Conclusions, never start with, in conclusion, in this essay I have discussed, this is too basic. Use a memorable closing statement. Sample debate speech format. Mr./Madam Chairman, distinguished guests, fellow students. The motion before us today is that I rise in support of /opposition to this motion, and I shall demonstrate beyond all reasonable doubt that. Summary. Argumentative equals logic-driven, claim, evidence, counter-argument, rebuttal. Persuasive equals logic plus emotion, ethos, pathos, logos plus rhetorical devices. Structure, hook, context, thesis, peel, body, paragraphs, counter-argument / rebuttal, strong conclusion. Techniques, ethos, credibility, pathos, emotion, logos, logic, rhetorical questions, repetition / anaphora, emotive language. WAEC Nigerian topics, free education, NYSC, corruption, social media, women in leadership, cultism, child marriage. Powered by LightTech Academy, academy.lightech.com.ng. NECO-approved SS1 English Language.